Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, and I'll be covering the news analysis from two important newspapers, that is the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 7th of June. The first important news is regarding the manual scavenging. Recently, the Ministry of Social Justice has come up with a report. Second is about the internet economy, which is expected to hit 1 trillion by 2030. We'll see some of the forecast that is there. Third, that is India and Germany to strengthen their defense cooperation. Second last, China, Russia conduct air patrol over the Sea of Japan and East China of Sea, so which has raised concern with the Japan, and we see the important part of the map work that is important, relevant for this particular news. And the last is an editorial seeing India's transition through its states. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And if you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do press a like button. So starting the session with the first news, that is Ministry of Justice report on manual scavenging, something important for General Studies paper 2. That is the welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the center and the state government. So Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment has come up with the report, जहाँ पे इन्होंने categorically manual scavenging के बारे में बात की है. And earlier, the government has said that most of the district is scavenging free, but the fact is that only 508 district out of total 766 district in the country has been declared free from manual scavenging. So this is the latest report, the latest finding directly coming out from the government of India via the Ministry of Social Justice. Now, decade after the independence, and despite it leaves all the technological advancement that we have seen across the sector, we are not able to find the alternative to manual scavenging. This is again, it is a saddest part. I personally feel that government of India should dedicatedly look into the matter. It is not only the fact that very less number of population is working, but definitely it is all about the humanity. It is all about how we see humanity for other people also. So definitely government should look upon this. And this is not for the new time that any kind of reports are published. This has already been there. Major recommendations has been there by the other expert committee, but still we cannot find substantially taking place when it comes to manual scavenges. Now, finding of the report, the manual scavenging from the hazardous cleaning for sewers, maintaining the survey actually has conducted that from 2013 to 18. I have identified existing manual scavenging, that is nearly 58,000. And hence the manual scavenging is no longer existing in the country. This is what they earlier said. But the latest finding has said that only 508 district has been scavenging free. Now, around 22,000 has been connected to the skill training program. See what is there when you have skilling for the labor, that will call for using some technology, and even if the technology is there, the people are not that equipped to use it. So first we need to have a skilling and now upgrading people with a good skill. Now subsidies and the loan that are available to any one of them wishing to set up their loan has also been there, but the substantial progress at the ground has not been made yet. Now, there's a Namaste scheme which called for, this is basically a CSS scheme, that is a sector scheme. This is by Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment. It's a joint initiative by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs also. This can be a possible statement relevant for prelims examination. Now, Namaste envision the part of safety and dignity to the sanitation worker in urban India and create enabling ecosystem that recognizes sanitation worker as one of the key contributors to operations and maintain sanitation infrastructure. Now, the scheme has been approved for 4 years, that is for the duration from 2023 till 26. And the union budget has allocated 1,000 crore rupees under the Namaste scheme, and no budget has been allocated for the rehabilitation scheme. So this is again, this point can be used in the mains examination. You can forecast the part of the government intentions and the inclinations towards the rehabilitation of the schemes. Now, if you see some of the facts, for particular states, the details are given about the manual scavenging that has been identified. This is for 2018 survey. These are details from Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, Andhra Pradesh, and Karnataka. And skill development trainings की अगर बात करें, these are the number for part of the development. Now, some other facts. This is an infograph that will give you a lot more information when it comes to the part of information regarding the manual scavenging. So, in India, 3 sanitation workers die every 5 in a day, and 97% of manual scavengers belong to the Dalit category. 36% are experiencing violence. 50% have been reporting untouchability. So, there are a lot of important facts. If you see the death that has been reported in Delhi 20, Karnataka 14, Maharashtra 23, Tamil Nadu 22, and Uttar Pradesh 30, right? And these are the other minute details. You can take this screenshot, or even you can pause this video to read further some of the important informations. Now, internet economy to hit 1 trillion by 2030, something important for General Studies paper 3. That is the Indian economy and issues related to planning, mobilization, resource, growth, and development. So according to the latest report, this was a report which was published by a group of companies, that is Google, Teamstick and Print, and the company, they have come up with the finding that the part of the Indian economy when it comes to internet economy, making payment through UPI and various part of payment which involve internet, is expected to grow sixfold, and like from currently that is at 175 billion, it can reach up to 1 trillion by 2030. Very, very important point. Even you can get a essay in this type of topic, boom of the internet economy, and even for the mains you can get some analysis questions. So you need to understand the trend, some of the forecast which is there by some of the reputed rating agencies. Now about the report, it says that India's internet economy, that is specifically from business to consumer, in e-commerce firm and the online service provider, edtech companies are likely to hit 1 trillion value by 2030. Now this mark will be again something which we have seen for the current value is 175, for the last year. As per the report, the growth would be driven by India's stating to the translate online and overall expansion of the digital business. The key thrust would be in tier 2 locations, and the report noted that the health tech and insurance tech, both which is sized at 2 billion today, will demonstrate the highest and largest expansion. So these two sectors, the health tech and insurance tech, is definitely going to boom in the future. Now, internet contributions की अगर बात करें, how it has contributed to the economy, how internet economy has actually helped. So the contribution of the internet economy in India has seen expansion from like 48, it will be reaching to 62. And India's GDP is expected to increase by 4.4 to 5% nearly. जो अभी current में, it will reach up to 12 to 13%. The pace of the digital disruption is expected to accelerate the part of traditional business, MSME increase, and even digitalization in having a startup continuity to play a major role in driving the internet economy. Now, one other important fact that is there by this report that we are discussing, which important findings this report में दी गई हैं. I'm just giving you some of the precise information relevant for this examination. आप पूरे reports भी पढ़ सकते हैं. Now, the average part of the people that spend their time in the internet online, you can see the number, 5.5 for China, 6.5 for India, and other countries. Social media hours, again, India में ज़्यादा है, 2.8. Now, this point I want to make a caution. See, the point here is that it's very good that we are getting a good number of subscriber and internet user. But the other point to understand that spending a lot many time in the internet and the number of hour, even for the duration that is increasing, is substantially degrading the potential of our individual. If you see, many people are involved in social media, not only for the learning process, but also for the entertainment purposes. Just to give you an hypothetical example, like reels are, most of the part the people spend that time. So this is actually, derailing the part of productivity. जो इंडिविजुअल की प्रोडक्टिविटी होनी चाहिए किसी और काम में, और व्हेन यू कैन रीड इट आउट और रीडिंग प्रोसेस, दैट इज समथिंग बिग टैम्पर आउट. सो इस चीज़ों पे भी ध्यान देने की जरूरत है. वी कैन नॉट ओनली स्केल आउट कि हमने काफ़ी नंबर्स कर लिए. वी हैव टू सी द प्रोडक्टिविटी ऑफ द यूथ. इंडिया इज अ कंट्री विच इज़ अ यंग, सो यंग पोटेंशियली हमें उस चीज़ को राइट डायरेक्शन में यूज़ करने की जरूरत है. ना ऑनलाइन वीडियो आज आप देख सकते हैं. दिस इज फॉर पर्टिकुलर 1.6 कंपेयर टू एनी अदर कंट्री. यूट्यूब इज डेफिनेटली मोस्ट व्यूड इन इंडिया. एंड डिजिटल पेमेंट्स की अगर बात करें, this is 65. So again, India have good numbers. So these data might help you for writing something specific point in the mains examination. But again, you have to see the ethical issues also involved. Now, India and Germany to strengthen the bilateral defense cooperation, something important for general studies paper 2, that is the effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries. Now, India and Germany has reaffirmed their commitment to strengthen the bilateral defense cooperations and to explore the ways to enhance the defense partnership between two countries. Now, the decision was taken during the delegation level meeting between the Defense Minister of India and his counterpart, who both of them met in Delhi, and he is on a visit to Delhi to get further increasing the part of the bilateral relationship and boosting the bilateral relationship. India and Germany have been strategic partnerships since 2000, which being strengthening through the intergovernmental consultations since 2011, and at the level of the head government, both countries are looking forward to augment the part of bilateral relations. Priority areas की अगर बात करें, definitely some of the areas has been identified. This particular meeting is specifically related to the defense sector. तो डिफेंस प्रोडक्टिविटी में काफ़ी ज़्यादा ध्यान दी गई है, इंक्लूडिंग द पॉसिबिलिटी वेयर जर्मन इन्वेस्टर्स कैन हैव इन द डिफेंस industrial corridor, which include the part of Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu, right? Defense, bilateral defense cooperation activities to enhance the collaborations, to enhance the part of defense industrial partnership. और जर्मनी ने कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स की भी बात की है, जैसे इंडियन नेवी की जो प्रोजेक्ट 75 इंडिया, वी पॉपुलरली कॉल इट P75-1. Now under 6 conventional submarines are also been developed. So these part of the development is also aligned between India and Germany. Now, Memorandum of Understanding की अगर बात करें, Memorandum of Understanding is likely to conclude by TKMS. This is a company from, this is a holding company from Germany, and India की तरफ से Maxon Dock Builders is working on executing the part. Now, such agreement would have a step forward in building the multi-million submarine deal. So this is also a submarine company related to that. And when it comes to Germany, you see German product that is there in India that call for an excellence. The German product is mostly something that is reliable and most trusted. They go for innovations, and even the durability of the product is on a higher side. Now, China, Russia conduct air patrol over the Sea of Japan and East China Sea, something important for general studies paper 2, effect of policies and politics for developed and developing countries. Now, Russia and China, they have recently conducted a joint air force patrol over the Sea of Japan and East China Sea, the South Korea as the deployed fighter jet in response to the warplane near its airspace. Now, both countries have started their 6th joint aerial patrol in accordance with the annual military cooperations between the China and Russia. So these two countries are together working on developing the particular area and having the presence on a larger side. The statement that give further no part of the details that is there with regard to overwatering Japan, the Korean Peninsula or Taiwan. Now, before I proceed with the news, the map work become important. You see, UPSC has also been emphasizing on the part of map work. So I categorically wanted to emphasize on the part of the map. If you see the Sea of Japan, first question that can be framed, how many countries are there? The first is Russia, second is North Korea, then you have South Korea, then you have Japan. So these are the 4 countries around the Sea of Japan. And after China and Russia coming together, these 2 countries are coming together. This has raised concern for Japan that why these countries are having the aerial survey or the aerial exercise. Now, one important other map work that is important is about the East China Sea, where China is a part. And the other map work which can be asked with you is about the Ryukyu Island, which is there in Japan, Yellow Sea, which is there between the part of the East China Sea and Yellow Sea and Sea of Japan. So these map work become evident and important for the examination. Now, air defense and identification zone की अगर बात करें, South Korea said that 4 Russian and 4 Chinese military aircraft has entered the air defense identification zone, which is again a concern, prompting a scalable fighter planes. And this area is a area where airspace, even the tried controlled security reasons की वजह से allow नहीं की जाती है. This is something you are entering to the boundaries which is restricted for a country. Specifically, they can be used for the domestic purposes. Now, the South Korean military have identified Chinese and Russian jet before they actually enter into the air identification zone. South Korea and China stand on Russia's की अगर बात करें, South Korea ने has supported the Western sanctions on Russia. जिस तरह से रशिया ने यूक्रेन पे वॉर की है, उसको देखते हुए ह्यूमैनिटेरियन ग्राउंड पे साउथ कोरिया ने जो सैंक्शंस थी, यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स और वेस्टर्न कंट्रीज इवन फॉर द ईयू दे हैव एक्चुअली सपोर्टेड इट. There can might be a repercussion of that why Russia and China is collaborating on the part. So, but it is bound by own regulations prohibiting supply of the lethal aid of the countries in conflict. And China said that the neutral party to the Ukraine war, because China ने अपनी stand clear नहीं किया. They are diplomatic countries. They play very well when it comes to the diplomatic part. So it's neutral on the part. And it has been criticized for the Western countries for refusing and condemning the Moscows for the close strategic partnership with Russia. Now, moving to the editorial of the day, seeing India's energy transitions through its states, something important for general studies paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from a design and implementations. So what I'll be discussing under this editorial, we'll see the theme and the main focus of this article, that is the role of the state in energy transitions, importance and significance of the state functions in energy transitions, the state level framework and way forward. So these are the issues that I'll be discussing with you under this editorial. Now, if you see the background and understand the premise, India has scaled renewable energy capacity by 250% between 2014 to 21. So this is a part of achievement that India has made in the renewable energy, despite the fact that we have a lot more other commitment, global commitment, there is a COP or many other forums. But again, the endeavor that is made by India is something that should be appreciated. Now, India now ranked 4th in the renewable energy capacity in the world, and the upcoming G20 forum, specifically the part of the actually G20 presidency which India is holding. India is planning for a multi-purpose energy pathway to accommodate diverse context, developmental tragedies, and even for the part of development strategy that is required to achieve the renewable energy capacity. Now, the diversity of Indian state is something, that is again a potential, and to the fact that we need to use this potential, और इसी में जो states की role है वो काफ़ी ज़्यादा important हो जाती है domestic energy transitions के लिए. Now, India's global summit pledged that 50% of the non-fossil electricity capacity will be there by 2030 और net zero emissions की target की अगर बात करें, इंडिया ने 2070 की बात की है, चाइना ने 60 की and United States by 2050, and the earliest country that will be achieving the part of the net zero emissions is Germany by 2045, right? So Germany will be achieving it. So ये सारी चीजें आपके एग्जाम्स के लिए काफी ज्यादा relevant है. You should know these facts. Now, importance and significance of the states. India has achieved its target that's expected by 175 gigawatt renewable energy. 2022 में ही इंडिया ने ये चीज को अचीव कर लिया था. And the significant achievement has been done in Gujarat, Karnataka and Rajasthan to meet their individual target. Moreover, 80% of the current renewable energy capacity is confined to 6 states of west and south of India. So how important is the state when it comes to the energy transition? Definitely it is important. The federal setting of our part of the governance, it makes state important stakeholders when it comes to energy transition. And I'll give you 4 important functions how the state can play a significant role. First, the state as a spare for the implementations are critical to the realization of national targets. Once we wanted to achieve any national target set by the center, the state as the executor. So their role becomes very important. While the center may set a goal and use carrot and stick policy to achieve them, but this is something that has to be given and the priority has to be set by the state government. The second is the legacy issues over the electricity sector, such as high losses, reliable supply, service quality that is left at risk could be exacerbated by the transitions, and these are embedded by the state political economy and must be addressed at the state level. Now, third is that the state as laboratories of the policy innovations has been instrumental to the energy transitions. For example, अगर बात करें कुछ states like गुजरात और राजस्थान, उन्होंने काफ़ी ज़्यादा solar पे work किया, and when Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu work on wind energy, and they have contributed significantly in the renewable energy, right? State is something, state is, India is something which is a union of states. तो states के बिना participations की ये achievement possible नहीं है. कुछ और schemes की अगर बात करें, PM Kusum that have been adopted for successful experiment, that is for the solarizations and even agriculture at the national scale. Now, fourth, we have states that could be have a roadblock to the national goals, particularly when the goals are perceived and marginalized with the solar priorities. Now, state level frameworks की अगर बात करें, as a part of the techno-economic discourse, definitely states become very important. और इस framework में states की जो role है, that is again to understand the plan, execute the actions, governance process towards the energy transition. And applying such framework will enable the part of expeditions for the energy transition in multiple ways. और ये काफ़ी हद तक broaden करेगी इंडिया के टारगेट को अचीव करने में within the specific time, stipulated time, with a substantial outcome. Now, there will be a great transparency in the part of that could enable the participation of the stakeholders and ensure the public legitimacy to buy the complex decisions. Now, way forward की अगर बात करें, states are critical actor that we have discussed. आप उसे conclude कर सकते हैं that energy transitions में state के multi-level role है, and even the multi-governance role can be played with the terms of state collaborating and the center and the state working together. Now, the state are critical actor when it comes to energy transitions and have a multi-governance. I think this line is reported. You can skip this. And effective transitions will require bridging the ambitions and implementing the part of the center-state relations. So it is very important that coordinations between the center and the state should be there to ensure that they are working with the aligned strategy and helping the state to come up and implement the part of the process. So this is how the conclusion can be made. Now, moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day, before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option was A. For second question, the correct option was B. Today's MCQ for practice is about the personality right. It refers to right of a person for individual with personality of a right to privacy and property. The right to privacy is a right that do not have one's personal represent publicly without permissions. Now, the second is PM Daksh program. Consider the following statement. It was launched by the Ministry of Home Affairs. It's a national action plan for skilling the marginalized person for SC, OBC, EBCs and sanitation worker, including the waste pickers. आपके साथ दक्ष की मैंने न्यूज़ डिस्कस की है. Make sure आप इस तरह के क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करें. This will have you give you an edge over the upcoming prelims examination and give you the clarity of the questions. So this was all about for the daily news and editorial analysis followed by the MCQs. If you have any other concern, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.